third. Cade all the way to the basket, scores it!
Out of the floor, working over Herter, and hits the fadeaway on the baseline. Cade to the trailer! Cunningham, meanwhile, his guys rolling to the basket, unguarded. Back cut by Tobias Harris, ends up with it.
Trailing for a game.
For the outstretched arm of Bam Adebayo.
28 straight losses. First place in the East. That's not a rebuild. That's a resurrection. 2 years ago, the Detroit Pistons were the worst team in NBA history. Now, they've got an MVP-level Cade Cunningham, an elite defense, and the entire league watching. So how did the NBA's biggest embarrassment become its most dangerous contender? The Detroit Pistons were a punchline. Not just bad, historically bad. 28 straight losses. The longest single-season losing streak in NBA history. A franchise with 3 championships reduced to late-night jokes and social media memes. Every time they took the floor, the expectation wasn't victory. It was survival. And now, those same Pistons sit at 36-12. First place in the Eastern Conference. An MVP candidate leading the charge. A defensive player of the month anchoring the paint. A coach trusted enough to lead the All-Star game. In less than 2 years, they didn't just improve. They became the exact nightmare the rest of the league never wanted to see rise again. So how does a team go from historic embarrassment to the top of the East? To understand rise, you have to understand just how deep the fall really was. Because the Pistons weren't always a joke. For a stretch in the 2000s, they were the standard of toughness in the Eastern Conference. From 2003 to 2008, Detroit made 6 straight conference finals. In 2004, they shocked the basketball world by taking down the star-studded Lakers to win the championship. It was blue-collar basketball at its finest. No super team, no megastars, just defense, discipline, and heart. The spirit of the Bad Boys era felt alive again. Detroit wasn't just competitive, they were feared. Then everything unraveled. The core aged, the roster thinned, the identity faded. What followed wasn't a quick rebuild. It was a slow, painful collapse that stretched over a decade. Their last playoff appearance came in 2019. A first-round sweep. Quiet. Forgettable. The kind of series that disappears from memory the moment it ends. But the stat that really tells the story is even harsher. The Pistons' last playoff win happened on May 26, 2008. 17 years without a single postseason victory. An entire generation of fans grew up without ever seeing Detroit win a playoff game. And the seasons leading into the rebuild were brutal. In the 2 years before the new era began, the Pistons went 31-133 combined. That's not a typo. 31 wins across 2 full seasons. Some teams reached that total before the All-Star break. Detroit needed 2 years. But even that didn't prepare anyone for what came next. The 2023-24 season started quietly. They opened 2-1. Not great, but not embarrassing. Maybe the young roster would grow. Maybe they'd compete. Then the floor vanished. Loss after loss piled up. 5 in a row. 10 in a row. 15. 20. By the time the streak hit 28, it wasn't just a slump. It was history. The longest single-season losing streak the NBA had ever seen. They shattered the old record of 26 and tied the all-time mark that Philadelphia had set across 2 different seasons. In November alone, Detroit went 0-15. Their final record, 14-68. And here's the cruel twist. Monty Williams was coaching that team on the richest coaching contract in NBA history. $78.5 million guaranteed. 14 wins to show for it. But hidden inside that disaster was one reason for hope. Cade Cunningham, the #1 overall pick, the franchise cornerstone. The kid expected to drag Detroit back into relevance. He was putting up big numbers in games they still lost. He dropped 41 in one of those losses. It didn't matter. Another L in the standings. During the streak, reporters asked him how he stayed positive. He gave a brutally honest answer. A lot of my positivity comes from the joy of the game, but there's nothing positive about this situation right now that we've put ourselves in. That was a 22-year-old carrying the weight of an entire franchise. And he wasn't even fully healthy. He'd already battled shin issues and knee tendinopathy that shut him down earlier in his career. But the pressure ran deeper than just wins and losses. In over 80 years of existence, the Pistons had never produced an MVP. Not Isaiah Thomas. Not Ben Wallace. Not Grant Hill. Nobody. Cade wasn't just trying to win games. He was trying to lift a franchise that had never reached that individual peak. And after the 2023-24 disaster, it felt impossible. But sometimes rock bottom is exactly what a team needs. Because when the Pistons cleaned house in the summer of 2024, they didn't just shuffle pieces. They reset the entire identity. First move, out went Troy Weaver. In came Trajan Langdon as president of basketball operations. Langdon had helped build New Orleans' young core and carried a strong reputation around the league. His philosophy was simple and clear from day one. No panic trades. No desperate star chases. Develop what you have. Build something real. Then came the coaching hire that surprised people. J.B. Bickerstaff had just been fired in Cleveland after a 48-win season and a second-round playoff appearance. The Cavaliers moved on, and Detroit wasted no time bringing him in. What many people overlooked was his background. Coaching ran in his blood. His father, Bernie Bickerstaff, spent a decade as an NBA head coach. J.B. grew up around the game, even working as a ball boy for the Seattle Supersonics, while his dad coached. He didn't learn the NBA from textbooks. He learned it in locker rooms. His reputation was clear. Defensive-minded, demanding. A coach who pushed players hard but made them better. Former players said the same thing. Under Bickerstaff, they became more complete, more disciplined, more accountable. And that's exactly what Detroit needed. He walked into a locker room that had just suffered the worst season in franchise history and told them something simple. We're not tanking. We're competing. The change was immediate. By December 23, 2024, the Pistons had already won 15 games. That was more than their entire total from the previous season. They finished 44-38, a 30-win improvement. Only the second team in NBA history to triple its win total from the year before. Cade exploded statistically. Over 26 points per game. More than 9 assists. 6 rebounds a night. He made his first All-Star team. Earned All-NBA third-team honors. The kid who carried them through the darkness was finally being recognized. Then came the playoffs. Detroit's first appearance since 2019. Game 2 against the Knicks, the Pistons pulled out a 100-94 win. It wasn't just another playoff victory. It was their first postseason win in 17 years. Cade delivered a triple-double in Game 4. 25 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Only the third playoff triple-double in franchise history. But the run ended in Game 6. Jalen Brunson hit a dagger. Season over. Still, something had changed. After the loss, Cade said, "We proved to ourselves and the rest of the league that what we have in this room can be very successful." Detroit had proven they belonged. But belonging wasn't the goal. Dominating was. And that's what the 2025-26 season became. The numbers tell the story. 36-12. First place in the Eastern Conference. Second best net rating in the NBA. Second best defensive rating. First in steals per game. This wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a lucky stretch. It was the result of a clear identity. And it started with Cade Cunningham. Over 25 points a game. Nearly 10 assists, leading the entire league. More than 5 rebounds a night. 2-time All-Star. First-time starter. Then came a performance that entered the history books. Against Washington, he dropped 46 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks. No player in NBA history had ever recorded 45-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 10-plus assists, and 5 steals in a single game. That wasn't just a career night. That was immortality. he won Eastern Conference Player of the Month honors and suddenly found himself in the MVP conversation. Some analysts even called him the front-runner, arguing that unlike other stars, he didn't have a second superstar next to him. If he wins it, he becomes the first MVP in Pistons history. But this team isn't a one-man show. Jalen Duren has become a force inside. Nearly 18 points and double-digit rebounds every night. A double-double machine with elite rim protection and a growing offensive game. Isaiah Stewart has turned into a defensive anchor. Opponents shoot barely over 41% at the rim against him. He even captured Defensive Player of the Month honors. When injuries hit, this team didn't collapse. They adapted. Cade missed time with a wrist issue. Duren dealt with an ankle injury. Harris battled hip soreness. Stewart fought illness. Detroit kept winning anyway. They ripped off a 13-game win streak, tying a franchise record. Role players stepped up. Young guys matured. Veterans stabilized the locker room. Ozar Thompson developed into a defensive menace on the perimeter. Jaden Ivey returned from injury to provide scoring bursts. Tobias Harris played his 1,000th career game, offering leadership and consistency. Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert stretched the floor. The stats were impressive. The wins kept coming. But the real difference was the culture. Bickerstaff's philosophy was simple. Tell the truth. Hold players accountable. Build trust. His players bought in completely. In an era defined by load management and star power, Detroit built something rare. Genuine team identity. The front office added veterans specifically to guide the young core. Teach them how to handle pressure. Show them how to win. And now, those lessons are paying off. When stars sit, others deliver. No egos. Just execution. That young core isn't inexperienced anymore. Cade is entering his prime. Duren is only 22. The defense is elite. The offense is organized. The culture is solid. This is the team the league hoped would never rise again. From 28 straight losses to first place in the East. From the worst record in basketball to an MVP candidate leading the charge. From 17 years without a playoff win to a legitimate title threat. Bickerstaff gave them structure. Cade gave them belief. And the rest of the NBA isn't laughing anymore. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't trash talk. It's winning. The writing was on the wall once. Turns out, Detroit just needed someone to rewrite it. Now the only question left is simple. Can the Pistons go all the way?